Good morning. Well, for our opening song, I Love Myself the Way I Am by Jay Joseph. Please stand if you're able and we'll sing out.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. I love myself just the way I am. And I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your raging tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, because I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow, my love and everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come if deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. And I love myself just the way I am.
Yeah, so good.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Wes Morrison, your prayer chaplain on duty today, and we'll go from love to not self-criticize ourselves. And so I picked this from the In the Garden, the Lenten booklet from this year. I release self-criticism. Our brains are programmed to look for the negative as a self-preservation mechanism, but that critical vigilance is easily turned on ourselves. We may nitpick our performances at work, or lament on parts of our bodies that are aging or in pain, ignoring all the elements in our lives that are working perfectly. Today, I let go of self-criticism. I begin to see the marvel that I am. I'm made perfect in the image and likeness of the holy. I am a glorious creature and worthy of honor and pride. I love myself. I'm feeling myself, as Beyonce would say, I am grateful for all that I am and all that I have, all that I give and all I receive. The Christ Spirit lives and breathes in me as I approach the throne boldly and bow before me. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you, Wes.
Sure.
Well, I'm Reverend Gary Canier, and unity is a spiritual community that fosters personal transformation for healing, for wholeness, and for an intimate connection with the divine. We do this through affirmative prayer and meditation that opens us to know deeply that connection with all that is. Unity believes that all people are equal and divine without exception. And unity provides a safe place where we can come and explore our spiritual journey just as we are. Unity honors the light that lives in all religious and spiritual traditions. For we know the light shining through every stained glass window, through every mosque, dome, through every temple or cathedral or church tent is the same light shining in us. And we call that light God. And we know that what we experience is based on what we can imagine, on what we believe, on what we say. And when we say what we believe with gusto, it ignites a powerful force in the universe. So let's say this great truth with gusto together.
There is only one presence, one power, active in my life and in the universe, God, the good omnipotence.
And so it is. And with that, I ask Wes to come up and lead us in today's daily word affirmation.
All right, our daily word word for the day is believe. So let's repeat repeat it 3 times.
Yes.
All right. I believe in the goodness and
Grace of God. I believe in the goodness and the grace of God. I believe in the goodness and grace of God.
How beautiful that is. And as we continue, I ask that you put your smartwatches and phones into silence. They'll get their messages as we're getting out.
And one of the most important ministries that we have here is the Helping Hands. Everyone needs a help sometime doing something, taking to the airport, doing errands, or any need that you can think of. And so if you want to be on the committee or if you have a need, certainly reach out so we can help you. And the website is helpinghands@unitynewbraunfels.org.
That's beautiful. And our Sacred Service Volunteer of the Week is the wonderful Connie. Connie is dedicated and takes care of our wonderful thrift store, Twice Blessed. She does a good job of that, and she's an office support. She comes on Wednesday, and I truly treasure all that you do with us and for us, and for yourself. It's certainly a blessing. And so I ask if you would lift up Connie in your prayers this week with deep gratitude for that service. Because as we focus on that gratitude, we become the very presence of sacred service. Because, boy, we are a sacred service community. Thank you very much. So many of you probably don't know this, but Unity Village, they've been doing amazing things at Unity Village. And this picture, the activity center, this was the large church on campus. And I used to think, why call this grand building, these huge arches, the activity center? I thought it should be Unity Cathedral. Well, now it's the Gopher Event Center. They completely took everything out on the inside and rebuilt it. It's the most beautiful space. And when they did that, they created a lobby, a foyer entrance. And along the wall, when you go in, are these doves flying and resting. And there's about 8 different dove designs, and they're all different sizes. And we, as a church, the board decided to contribute to the capital campaign for this wonderful building. And so there is a dove with Unity of New Braunfels in the foyer. And I encourage you to put the Unity Village on your bucket list. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. And we're represented in this beautiful event center. And this will live in our foyer right next to the office. There's already a hook there, so I'll hang it up afterwards so you can take a closer look. I like that we have doves in our congregation, and it's so beautiful that we can contribute to a wonderful place in our world and in the unity movement. So thank you. We went through the process and created an updated version of our core values, our vision, our mission. Our core values are, well, let's read these together: integrity, compassion, transparency, intention, and freedom. And our new vision, let's read this: we celebrate a spiritually awakened world where everyone lives with inner peace, purpose, and a sense of belonging. And our mission? We support a wellspring of spiritual growth through education, acceptance, and authentic action as we serve our community and the world. And now we have a congregational song, which our music director, Rudy Harsh, and the wonderful Emily Briggs will guide us through this. But as we prepare, let's stand if you're able, and we'll sing together.
Love, 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 love. Spirit in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love. Let's sing that all together once again before we break up into round form, all right? Love, 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 love. Spirit in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love. This half of the room start with Emily, and this half of the room will continue with the Reverend and myself. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Love, 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 love. Spirit in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Spirit in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Spirit in one word
A little bit
is
quieter.
love. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Spirit in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Spirit in one word is love.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love.
Very good. So all this love is marked by the talk today, which is making self-love a priority. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when a minister chooses a topic, they really dive into it. And I got to tell you, this one has been tossing me all over the place. Like, what's so hard about self-love? I could give you a list. I could give you a list because it's a constant journey of respect and acceptance and a whole lot of forgiveness to just say, I love myself the way I am. Anyone in the room have any essence of what I'm talking about? Vaguely. Okay. At least there's one person. Thank you, Kathy, for coming today. Obviously, we're alone. It is a big topic, and we're going to nibble at it and journey with it and acknowledge our place in it. Oh, it's good to see you. Ah, so good. Okay, so this scripture pointed me to this. It is Mark 12:31. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Now, the whole passage is here is the greatest commandment is love God with all your heart and soul, and also love your neighbor as yourself. Well, the hidden trick in this passage is you gotta love yourself in order to love your neighbor. I can speak from experience. If I'm not loving myself, I can't very well love others. Only to the degree I can love myself. So, why would they write this in the Bible? Why is self-love so important? Why? Why? Anyone have a guess why?
Because we have God in our souls.
We have God in our souls, if that's what you said. Good. Anything else?
That's good. She knows.
Because as I've been saying often, we are 100% divine and 100% human. 100% of each. But it's that divine presence within us, that constant, unconditional love that gives us everything we need if we just open to it. And guess what closes us off from knowing that? Fear, self-doubt, self-hate, a few judgments, a few criticisms. What's harm for just a little criticism? Just a little self-doubt. Just a little self-hate. It's just a little tiny thing. Yes.
Dictates and programs a lot, especially as a child.
Yes.
So, these would be adults. They wouldn't lie to me, would they? I really am no good. I really am dumb. I really am.
We come by it honestly.
Voice that it's hard to get rid of.
It is. But
As people who acknowledge that the spiritual journey is the goal, and knowing our oneness with God, we can allow ourselves to accept that we've all had the human journey. And anyone who was our parents, they've had the human journey. So we've all done the best with our humanness that we can. And in the human realm, within this live, work, play world that we live in, we see a lot of hardship. We see a lot of pain. We see corruption. We see power over, power under. We see people who are very disadvantaged, have no roof over their heads. And we see people who live in lavish wonder. The human journey is full of that dualism, which I talked about recently. But in the spiritual world, each one of us is profoundly with this innate presence of the divine. In my mind, I like the ocean. I like water. So if God is the ocean and we're like 98% water, so that's where God resides in me, in every cell of my being, then I can resonate with that part of me. I can allow the presence to give me serenity and wholeness, even when I'm feeling a little depressed, a little swirly. Oh, I didn't sleep so well, or I have a little trouble with my family. Some of you might be aware of those things in your life. It is life. And our journey is calling us. We're here in this room because there's something that said, I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to go and I'm going to explore an idea. Today, it's making self-love priority. Dr. Maya Angelou, great poet laureate, she found unity. She loved unity very deeply. And in her writing, she said, I must undertake to love myself and to respect myself as though my very life depends upon self-love and self-respect. Because I think it does. Because in my youth, I had a lot of self-loathing. And a lot of that self-loathing led me to ideas that maybe it's not worth living this life. And we live in a society where suicide is epidemic. If we don't have self-love and self-respect, we'll look at other options. And it's a journey of accepting things. It's a journey of what are some of the things we love to do in life? We ask those questions. What's some of the things we love to do? What's so good about being alive? Adventure. Food. Laughing. Grandchildren. Music. There's wonderful things. What do you love about being you? What do I love about being me? Anyone? So are you. You're not alone. I'm supported. I'm whole. I survived. It's amazing. After 68 years, I survived. We're here. Most everyone that's ever lived isn't here anymore. I'm on the hill. At least for a time. So why not make self-love a priority? Look in your life. The things you make absolute commitment of, do you do them or do you flake them off? You do them. Pay the rent, make the date, turn in the deadline. You make a commitment and you do it. So if you make a commitment, I'm not saying love yourself all day. That might be a little too bearing and it'd be worth like leaving the planet. But choose some form of self-love today that you can love yourself. And once you've done that, choose another one and love yourself. Just the way you are. That song we sang, it wasn't just a ditty. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to do. Thank you, Dr. Maya. And going with this, I also ride in the wisdom of Martha Smock. She's written some wonderful books and was the head of Daily Word for many, many years. She says, to love yourself means to love the self of you that God created in His image and likeness. The Christ self. So we've talked about that human aspect of us, our upbringing, our challenges, our navigation through life's decisions and experiences. But loving yourself is loving that which is loving you all the time. That 100% divine. That energy that supports us, renews us, heals us, blesses us eternally. There's no lack in God. And love is a great description of that energy that is delivered when we allow it to be. And we can do that only in the present moment. Setting all the other stuff aside and just open to that love. You can do that through prayer or meditation, saying an affirmation, seeking the highest truth in each moment. And we get to work with both sides of that 100% of who we are. Dr. H. Emily Cady wrote Lessons in Truth, and from that book she says, God is in the midst of you. You are the temple of the living God. If we can see ourselves as a container that God's moving through, it's easier to see, how can I take care of this body-mind that I've been given? If I ask myself, do I want to go to the gym? My answer will always be no. I know there's people who just love it. I love it when I get there. But I don't ask that question. I ask, when am I going? And then go 100%. Not leave half of myself reclined in the sofa and the other half of me in the pool exercising. It is possible to do that. It's really possible to do that. And it doesn't work for me. Eating well, playing, laughing, enjoying the present is not going off into a cave someplace. Sure, that could be fun for 5 minutes. And some people do it because they need to distract from everything. But God's everywhere present. The God in you. And our whole namaste is seeing the God in you from the God in me. So being with others, celebrating the present, is a good thing. Whether you're walking, you're playing, you're working, you're exploring those adventures. This is black belt spirituality. If you're ever courageous enough to do it, because I have done it, commit to loving yourself 100%, period. I did it for a whole year. And every single thing that I didn't love came up to say, well, love this. Well, love this. And I did. I just kept loving everything that came up. But it's black belt. It's a tough journey. But it's, why not love ourselves the way God loves us? Unconditionally. We're not so bad. Sure, we have some crazy ideas in our mind and our heart. But that's what makes us unique and interesting to have a meal with. Even if you're having the meal by yourself. I can entertain myself for hours because I'm so crazy. And if I'm just a little too tired, I'll get up and dance. Just ask Owen. He's seen me do some weird stuff. He just sits back on the sofa going, whatever. Hopefully that takes the edge off. The focus is on something else besides him. It's all right, Owen. Okay. So our personal exploration this week, it's so long because I have um, examples. That's the word. It's right there on the screen. So create affirmations. So here's a few. I honor my needs and celebrate my being. Let's say that together. I honor my needs and celebrate my being. Or, I am worthy of love, joy, and peace. Let's say that together. I am worthy of love, joy, and peace. Or, my life is a reflection of divine love. Together? My life is a reflection of divine love. Doesn't it feel different having proclaimed that higher truth? Affirmations are powerful words, and words are powerful. Hateful words are powerful. Well, loving words are powerful too. The second one is make a self-love playlist. Now, if you hate music, this might be an interesting adventure. If you love music, you know what I'm talking about. Compile songs that uplift you, inspire you, remind you of your value. And don't think someone else's playlist is necessarily going to be yours, because each of us have our own subjective focus to it. My brother-in-law likes heavy metal, and that does this for him. It doesn't do it for me. But I know what works for me. So play those songs that remind you I'm worthy, I'm whole, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm creative, I'm wise, I'm open, I'm present, I trust, I forgive, I hope, I balance. Those kinds of ideas. Self-love, self-respect. And the third one is it's helpful to have some affirmation reminders. So this would be like set up affirmations that pop up hourly on your phone or your computer. You can always use ChatGPT or AI or something to come up with how can I do this? You can find out. And sticky notes on your mirror, on your desk, on the dashboard of your car, on the inside of your glasses. I see it, I see it. Wherever you can put those little touchstones, little reminders of love and peace and wisdom and creativity and joy and laughter, serenity and wholeness and balance and reconciliation. So as we go forward this week and we explore ways to truly love ourselves, to make a commitment, make it a priority, it's its own reward. When we love ourselves fully, when we respect ourselves fully, it's its own reward. Are you willing to join me? Wonderful. As we make self-love a priority. We're going to take this into meditation as Rudy and Emily will play some music to help ground us and help us be present in this moment. Just breathe easily. And if you're comfortable, just close the eyes and be here now.
I am worthy, love, joy, and peace. You are worthy, love, joy, and peace. We are worthy, full of love, in the eyes of God. I'm worthy of love, joy, and peace. You are worthy of love, joy, and peace. We are worthy of all that's good, in the love of God. In the love of God. In the love of God.
Resting in this moment, letting go of everything before this moment, letting go of everything that's to come later today. It'll get here or not. And in this present, release our breath to love, to peace, to joy. We breathe in and breathe out. Breathing into our heart center, we can let ourselves be open, like a bud opening, or like a gentle dove resting on its nest. We have within wonder and love and balance and peace and renewal. We let go and we allow this presence to infuse our awareness as we enter the silence. It is in these moments of contemplation, meditation, prayer, where our humanity joins and melds with our divine identity. It's all one. We're not separate pieces. And in our oneness, we have the capacity to open to love, to forgiveness, to God, by whatever name you give it. I am whole, just the way I am. I am whole, just the way I am. I am whole, just the way I am. And with that, we bring our attention back into the room. We might wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, roll our head, and when we're ready, we open our eyes. And then we'll read the affirmation that goes with today's talk 3 times together. Together, I choose
To make loving myself a priority today. I choose to make loving myself a priority today. I choose to make loving myself a priority today.
With that, we are ready to read the Lord's Prayer from this direct translation from Jesus' native language of Aramaic into English. Together,
Father, Mother, birther, and breath of all, create the space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. Untangle the knots of air that bind us as we release others. Don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. For age to age from you comes the glorious harmony of life. May these words be fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen.
and with that, we have this special music opportunity with Rudy Harsh and Emily Briggs with Kinder by Copper Queen.
I've decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all I've ever had. I've decided to let go of all this pain tonight. I've decided to let go of all these demons inside. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more, for I have got what I came for. I've decided to be open to that little voice inside. telling me I'm beautiful. It's okay to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I have got what I came for. I've decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all the love I feel and am. I am. I
Wow, we are so blessed. Do you have anyone visiting us for the first time? I guess. Wonderful. I'm going to bring the mic if you just give us your name and where you're from.
Hi everyone, my name is Kara. I live in Kyle, and John's my dad.
Oh, how
That's why I'm
wonderful.
here. Yeah.
So welcome. Well, we love having guests. Anyone else? Okay, good. Well, you got a welcome packet, and if you fill out the yellow card and give it back to one of the ushers, you can get a gift out of the basket that's in the foyer. In truth, if you don't fill out the card, you can still go get a gift out of the basket. But in Unity, we love to bless people, and we have a tradition of rubbing our hands together, connecting our hearts with our hands, and say, "Dear friends,
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste.
wonderful." And we want to welcome our online viewers who are going to watch this later on. So if you can turn around and blow a kiss, wave a hand, we bless our online community because you're part of our wholeness. And many blessings go to you in our thoughts and prayers. Namaste. And this is the time in our service where we can choose what it is we would like to give. Now, that could be in the form of a love offering or a tithe. For our first time guests, your presence is enough. But this is an opportunity. And it could be your gratitude or your prayers or your love. Set the intention in your heart as we say this offering affirmation together.
God's love has always met and will always meet my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful.
And with that, we're going to do our walk of abundance, where we come forward, we place a love offering, our tithes, our prayers, our gratitude. Let's just fill the shining copper bowl with all of that love. And then from the wooden bowl, take an affirmation for yourself, but go ahead and take as many affirmations that you'd like to share with others through the week. Let's celebrate with a walk of abundance.
Walk in abundance, feeling worthy, knowing I am found by love. Walk in abundance, walk in beauty, knowing there is plenty of it. Walk in abundance, dance in abundance, knowing I am one with holy love.
As we lift up our hearts in gratitude for these given in love, we're so grateful. And in that gratitude, we see these as seeds growing and giving us exactly what we need to do with our vision and our mission. We're ready, we're open, and we're willing, and we accept them with deep gratitude. And also in this time, we acknowledge that that presence within us answers every prayer. Every prayer in the prayer box in the foyer. The prayer, the names we're writing on those prayer request slips for World Day of Prayer. Any prayer that's resting on our heart bursts forth balance, reconciliation, prosperity, health, well-being, joy, laughter, and peace. We are so grateful. And all is well in love. Thank you. Amen.
Once again, I'm Wes Morrison. I'm your prayer chaplain on duty. And if you have anything on your heart or anything you'd like to share in a prayer or anything, just meet me here on the front row and I'll be happy to assist you.
Beautiful. So the Men in Unity dinner will be this coming Friday, September 5th. Yes, September's coming. It's amazing. It'll be at Faux NB, which is right there next to Office Max. And I love Faux NB. It's 5:30, and the men really have wonderful conversations. So if you've never been, men, come on down, and it's a blessing. So we'll meet there.
Women is going to have their get together at Brookshire Brothers Patio, and that's 18275 FM 306 there in Canyon Lake, and that's going to be on the 19th from 6 to 8.
Very good. World Day of Prayer is coming up September 11th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to be offering a World Peace Prayer Vigil. So there are prayer forms there. Put the names of the people, and then every hour on the hour from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. we will be praying over all of those names. Also, if you want to attend, there's a sign up from 7 to 7 where you can mark your name that you'll be here at that time. It's also on the welcome table. We have made this a community event. We sent a press release to the Community Impact and the Herald Zeitung, so we might have some people visiting us to join in our World Peace Prayer Vigil. So it's a beautiful thing, and I love World Day of Prayer. So join us.
Twice Blessed Treasures. Visit Twice Blessed for this and many other new items, and your donations are always welcome.
All right. Next week, next Sunday, it's a mouthful, is our first Sunday potluck following the service. So A to I is desserts, J to R is main dishes, S to Z sides and salads. It's wonderful to come in and break bread together and eat. The food is just so wonderful. So come join us next Sunday for our first Sunday potluck.
And our monthly board trustees meeting is after the service, and you're welcome to come and observe the meeting. And today's agenda is posted in on the bulletin board out in the hallway.
Yeah, if you didn't know, the bulletin board that's just to the left of the name tag board is the Board of Directors bulletin board. So last month's financials and agenda and reports are all there, and the agenda for today's meeting is posted up there. And then after the meeting, I will post all that stuff so that anytime during the month you can look at, see what the board's talking about. And now, this special music with Rudy Hart and Emily Briggs, Loving by Rudy Hart.
Loving feels so good to be loving, taking it easy, loving unconditionally. So you've got a sing-along part. You might have guessed what it is. It's just one word, and it's not hard to do. It's loving. Feels so good to be loving, taking it easy. used to think that life was tough, had to work and struggle, never get enough. But day after day I struggled through, when deep inside I knew I would rather be loving. Feels so good to be loving, taking it easy, loving unconditionally. While year after year it stayed the same, guilt and tears and feeling ashamed. And then one day I realized life would be different if I just opened my heart and eyes and be loving. Feels so good to be loving, taking it easy, loving unconditionally. Talking you and me. Well, it's such a relief now that I believe I can give and receive loving. And up my pie in the sky, it's right here inside. 'Cause I'm so full of, we're all made of. It's as simple as love, 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 loving. Feels so good to be loving, taking it easy, loving unconditionally, 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 you and me.
Very, very good. So we want to thank our online community for joining us today. It's a value to have you in the sense of our wholeness, and anytime it's available for you to come join us, come do it. And blessings to you eternally. Namaste.